the speaker.
Scene 3, the sweeper. Sweeping. Grasshopper saw a cloud of dust. Madeline says,
sweep, sweep, sweep.
And Nikki says,
our brooms will make the street as clean as can be.
and Karina says,
We took a broom and we swept all the yucky stuff all away.
good. And Cara says,
Outside the road is not very dirty.
the houseflies went on sweeping. And Madeline says,
Hey, Nikki.
one day,
One day we saw a piece of dust on our rug.
Nikki,
Next to that was another piece of dust.
and Karina, we cleaned up.
We cleaned up all the dust with our broom. What did you do then?
Madeline,
We cleaned their whole house, top to bottom, even washed my windows.
Nikki says,
Then we started cleaning our segments of this dusty, dirty road.
and Karina says,
We took our brooms and went sweep, sweep, sweep.
Cara,
You have worked very hard. You should rest. But we are having a wonderful time. That we will never rest.
Karina,
We will sweep until the whole world is clean, clean, clean.
the dust was getting into Grasshopper's eyes, so she said goodbye to the housefly and went on down the road. You're going to sit next to Grace.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, we're in Mount Shenandoah River.
It's hard to see the wings.
Michael's over there, older than the creek, younger than the mountain, growing like trees, country roads, take me home.
Scene 4, the voyage. Grasshopper came to a puddle of water in the road. He was just about to hop over the puddle when Jackson says,
Wait, you want to take this ferry boat safely across the lake?
and Henry says, it's a rule.
It's a rule.
And Sebastian says,
Climb into our boat.
Grasshopper looked down. At the edge of the puddle was a mosquito. They were sitting in a little boat. Ethan says,
I can't fit into the boat.
and Sebastian says,
Rules are rules.
Ethan says,
I still can't fit into the boat.
and Henry says,
These are still rules.
Rules are still rules.
you must get into our boat.
You must get into our boat.
Grasshopper picked up the boat and carefully carried it across the puddle. Jackson says,
You're lucky to be able to sword with us.
"No more about,"
We know more about sailing than anyone else around here.
and Ethan says,
Thank you very much for getting me this.
and Henry says, you're welcome.
You are welcome.
And Sebastian says,
And
and Jackson says,
now I'm going to turn back to wait for more riders.
Grasshopper waved goodbye and kept on walking down the road.
Val, you
Can you see
guys.
your name?
Val. 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 Oh, I forgot that.
I don't have room over here. Hey, Sebastian, you're going to sit next to Karina.
All complete.
Remember, Maggie, you're going to stand there with the test. You see, you can make sure everything's
Stand it back. We're gonna wait there. You're the next.
Ready? Scene 5, always. In the late afternoon, Grasshopper saw a mushroom. It was growing on the edge of the road. Ethan says,
I will fit on this mushroom.
Four butterflies were there. Talia says.
This is your mushroom.
Adlai says.
Grasshopper, you have to move.
Isabel says.
This is the mushroom we all like sit on.
Poppy says.
Each and every day we do the same thing at the same time.
And all together you say.
Always.
And Ethan? Oh, no, Ethan says. Were there a lot of other mushrooms?
Well, there's a lot of other mushrooms.
Okay, sit down, butterflies on edge. Three more butterflies flew on. Peyton says.
Scratch your head 6 times and fly in a circle 6 times.
Kate says.
We always have the same lunch at the same tree.
And Maggie says.
We take the same nap and take the same tree.
And Peyton and Kate and Maggie together say.
Always.
And Ethan says. And all the butterflies together say.
No.
And Ethan.
I like to do something new every day in my life.
He said goodbye to the butterflies and they flew off. Okay, Peyton and Devin, you're going to stay right here. Peyton and Peyton. Okay, there you go now. Okay. Scene 6, at evening. In the evening, Grasshopper walked slowly along the road. The sun was going down. The world was soft and quiet. Grasshopper heard a loud sound.
Zoo. Zoo.
Stay right there, that's fine. Okay, there we go. Okay. She saw 2 dragonflies in the air. Ethan says, and Joshua says, and Charlie says, poor Grasshopper, you are only walking.
Poor Grasshopper, you are only walking.
Ethan says,
I like to walk.
Joshua says,
I like that I could see it on the top on the tree.
Charlie says,
We will not have time to look at these.
and Joshua says, we are dipping
We have no time to look at mountains.
The 2 dragonflies raced across the sky and soon were gone. Stand over by Tess. Stand over by Tess.
What?
The world was quiet again. The sky became dark. Grasshopper watched the moon rising over the land. He watched the stars come out. He was happy to be walking slowly down the road. Grasshopper was tired. He lay down in a soft place. He knew that in the morning the road would still be there, taking him on and on to wherever he wanted to go. Okay, wait, shh. Okay, I got it. Then go back to one.